Um, Hi guys. So in this video, I'm just going to discuss about the overview of cloud computing, and let us see one by one. Okay. And in this presentation, we're just going to focus on this first topic only. That means the introduction to the cloud computing, and in the later of the session, the later of the video part, we can see the rest of the topics. Okay. First, we will see, what is cloud computing. Okay. And coming to the, before getting into the topic, I just want to explain with a real-time example where the cloud computing can be related to. Okay. And you just consider a scenario. A human is having a 4-seating capacity of a car. Okay, but for a scenario or for a period of time, for a week of time, he is in need of 6-seating capacity of a car. So in the particular scenario, what the particular person he has to do, I just recall in the scenario. The particular person is having 4-seating capacity of a car for a period of time, for a moment of time. What he is in need of? He is in need of 6-seating capacity of a car. As we all know, we are having only two possible solutions, right? What are those? He can buy a new car, or else he can hire a car, right? So with only these possible, these are the two set of possible solutions we are having in order to accomplish the particular given scenario. Okay, out of these two possible solutions, which one is the optimal one? Which one is the very feasible one? He can hire a car, right? Say for an example, he is having a 4-seating capacity of a car, but for a moment he is in need of for a 6-seating capacity of a car, and for a moment it may be a week of time or a month of time. The particular person no need to invest a huge amount of money to buy a new 6-seating capacity of a car, right? He can hire a car from a friend, or he can hire a car from any outsourcing companies, right? So like this, why I'm explaining with this real-time example, in the sense like this, we can hire services, we can hire any kind of services from the cloud service provider. We are having n number of cloud service provider that we will see in the later of the particular the cloud computing subject. Okay. So the as a user, what we need to do in the sense, we have to register ourselves in the cloud service provider in order to avail those set of services. Okay. We no need to invest a huge amount of money. We no need to maintain an infrastructure. We no need to maintain any kind of equipments, any kind of computing components, and everything can be available, everything can be accessed with the help of the cloud service provider, with the help of the cloud computing concept. Okay, and this is one of the biggest advantages of after the advent of cloud computing, and this thing can be easily availed with the help of the cloud computing. Okay, and coming to the topic, as I have earlier said, the cloud computing is an on-demand delivery. It's an on-demand delivery. Okay, it's an on-demand delivery. So on-demand in the sense, when a user is in need of, when the particular user is in, say for an example, the username is considered username is X. When the username A, when the user A is in need of particular application like Gmail. Okay, when he is in need of Gmail, what he has to do, he just getting into the browser, he need to he need to give his login credentials like the username and password. After the username and password has been validated by the particular server, he will be getting into the Gmail environment. He will be getting into the Gmail environment where he can access his particular mail from the mail server. The particular user never know where the particular mail has been stored. Okay, and the particular Google has data centers in various regions of our country and various regions in all over the world. Okay, but the particular user, he might not know, he never know about where particular data has been, where the particular mail has been stored and retrieved. Okay, and this is one of the beauty of the cloud computing. Wherever he may go. He may go to UK, he may go to Australia, he may go to USA, wherever he go, if you want to access his email, if you want to access his Gmail, you're just getting into the Gmail, the particular Gmail domain, Google domain, and by signing up, by giving up his username and password, he can retrieve his own mail. Okay, this is one of the beauty of the cloud computing. And okay, and say for an example, as I earlier said, cloud computing is an on-demand delivery. So what kind of services it can provide? So as a cloud service provider, what kind of services that the particular CSP can provide, in the sense they can provide a computing components, they can provide the database, and they can provide the storage, and they can provide an applications, and any other IT resources can be that can be availed with the help of internet. Only one important constraint for cloud computing is that we are in need of internet. Okay, so if we want to avail cloud services through the cloud service provider, so what we are in need of, so in an offline mode we cannot, say for an example, in an offline mode we cannot, we are not in a position to avail those set of the cloud services. Okay, so one of the important constraint, in the sense we need a high bandwidth connection in order to avail this cloud computing services. Okay, is one of the important constraint when coming into the cloud computing picture. When coming into the cloud computing environment. Okay, and another important point that I have highlighted over here in the particular slide is pay as you go model, pay as you go pricing. Okay, say for an example, the cloud, the user A is accessing one of the services named S1, from July 1st to, say for an example, July 1st to July 30th, in the sense July 1st to July 30th, in the sense only for these days only the price, the bill will be get calculated. Okay, whenever the particular user is logged into the CSP, whenever the particular user is logged into the particular the cloud computing environment through the graphical user interface by providing his username and password. Okay, and turning on the particular services, to be get executed, only those period of time only the bill will be get calculated. After say for an example, the particular user A turn on the services after July 30, from August from August 1, in the sense, then the bill will not be calculated from the August 1st. Okay, whenever the particular user turn on the particular services, whenever the user executing the particular services, only those period of time only the particular charge will be calculated for the user. Okay, this is one of the important advantage or implement applications which when the cloud computing coming into the picture. Okay, so how the cloud computing works in this is, whatever the services that can be availed with the help of web-based application. Say for an example, Gmail is one of the cloud computing services. Gmail is one of the services which is provided by the Google, right? So if we want to get into the drive, if we want to get into the Gmail drive, what I'm going to do, so in a browser I'm just going to type the URL gmail.com. Okay, once the user enters the URL, it asks for a username and password, right? It asks for the username and password. And once the user provided the username and password and the particular user has been validated, then he can enter into that the Gmail environment, right? So what he is in need of, he is in need of browser. That is called as web-based application. Even for Google Drive, or Google Drive is another another example which is coming under infrastructure as a service. Okay, and Google Docs, as you all know, what is the purpose of Google Docs, Google Forms. Okay, and these are which comes under software as a service, and we will see later of the unit. We will see these kind of examples will be in the later of the unit. Okay, and no need to worry about it right now. Okay, and how the cloud computing works in the sense, with the help of the web-based application, we will be entering into the CSP environment. In order to avail the services, like whatever the services that we are in need of, like computing power or database or storage, or if we want to deploy our application in an environment, and that can be easily done with the help of the cloud computing. Okay, this is one of the beauty of the cloud computing. Before the advent of the cloud computing, and these things are not possible. Okay, and after the advent of the cloud computing, and it can be any kind of services can be easily can be availed by the particular user. Okay, and coming to the I know what is the need of cloud computing. Here I'm just going to give an example. You kindly please listen carefully. What is the need of cloud computing? Say for an example, I am say abc.com, okay, and here I am deploying this particular domain in the web server, this particular single web server, okay, and for an example, this web server can handle, say for an example, 1000 requests per second, okay. For a period of time, for a moment of time, suppose the number of incoming requests increases up to 1 lakh per second, in the sense what the particular web server will do, the particular web server is not in a position to handle this 1 lakh of incoming requests. Automatically the server will be down. In traditional model, how this thing can be eradicated, this thing can be solved, in the sense by increasing what they do, in the sense they will increase the number of web servers, okay. Number of web servers, okay. Say for an example, here I am having only one web server, but here I am having 3 number of web servers, and all this abc.com will be deployed in each and every web server. All the things will be in web server, and these 3 web server will be managed by the load balancer, okay. Whatever the incoming whatever the request which is coming from the outside, and everything will be handled by the load balancer, and based on the load of the particular web server, the requests will be forwarded to the respective web servers, okay. And this is this is normally followed in a very traditional model. And what are the disadvantages over here in this? Sense, say for an example, I am in need of, okay, say for an example, and these 3 web servers are need only from July 1 to July 1 to July 10th, okay, and rest of the days I am in need of only one web server, okay. Just listen carefully. Just for 10 days of time, okay, for every year, just for 10 days of time, I need to invest a huge amount of money for purchasing these 3 web servers, and I need to maintain these web servers for the whole 365, the whole year, for 365 days, okay. You just think about it, okay, and only 10 days, remaining 355 days, what are the purpose of these 3 web servers? And that will be in an ideal position, for just for 10 days, okay, just for 10 days, I need to, say for an example, this web server would cost around 5 lakh, in the sense, if I go for additional 3 number of servers, it would be around 15 lakhs. This 15 lakhs would be, it's a huge amount, okay, for a normal, for a small startup company, the 15 lakh would be a very huge amount, okay. Like as you all know, in a festive season, Amazon and Flipkart, and they are providing lot number of offers, okay. So during the festive season, normally, okay, say for an example, this Flipkart will normally it can handle 1 lakh of 1 lakh of requests, in the sense, in a festive season, surely nearly 10 lakh of requests might come, okay. So in that scenario, in a traditional model they do, they go for scaling up the number, scaling up the servers, okay. And for those 10 days, they need to invest a huge amount of money for purchasing these servers, and remaining 355 days, they have to maintain these web servers, okay. If I'm putting up these web servers in ideal position, and normally, after the next year, the performance of the web server will be, the performance will be get degraded, okay. So there are lots of problem, okay. In a traditional model, we are having lots of problem, okay, and these things can be easily solved with the help of the cloud computing. What they do, in the sense, okay. Before that, I just tell you all the disadvantages of traditional model. I need to invest a huge amount of money, and it takes more amount of deployment, obviously, okay. If you want to deploy a web server, it takes a more amount of time, and maintenance cost, obviously the maintenance cost will be very more, and in a previous example, what I have told, for 10 days of time, I may need of additional 3 number of web servers, okay. Remaining 355 days, the resource will be in a ideal position, okay. And this is the major disadvantages of the traditional model, okay. And with the help of cloud computing, okay, how it can be easily, solved, in the sense, like say for an example, I am creating one website, and the domain name is abc.com. Here what I am going to do, in the sense, say for an example, XYZ is a cloud service provider. Okay, I'm going to register, I'm going to deploy the abc.com in the XYZ cloud environment. Okay, I'm going to hire one web service, hire a web server from the XYZ cloud service provider. Okay, here the WS1 is a web server. Okay, this abc.com will be deployed in the web server 1. Okay, whenever, okay, just listen carefully, whenever I am in need of, if I am predicting that from from July 1 to July 10, if I am in need of additional 4 number of web server, in the sense only for those 10 days I can scale up the server WS2, W3, W4. I can increase, I can scale up the number of web servers, and this abc.com can be deployed in all the remaining web servers. Okay, and these things will be studied detailed in the upcoming classes. Okay, this is how the disadvantages of the traditional model can be easily resolved. Okay, hope you all you can get some idea about where how the cloud computing works, right? Okay, very good, fine. And we will move on to the next one. Move on to the next slide. Okay, and the common definition for the cloud computing, and NIST is a common it's a common forum. Whatever the technologies come up in the real-time world, they given a common definition. Okay, as NIST, the cloud computing has been characterized as is a pay-per-use model for enabling or available convenient on-demand network resources. Whatever the resources, networks or servers or storage, application or any kind of IT-related services, services can be availed with the help of the cloud computing based on a pay-per-use model. Okay, and this is the common definition that is given by the NIST. NIST stands for National Institute of Standards and Technology. National Institute of Standards and Technology, and you can write your own explanation. That's up to you. Okay, based on your understanding, you can you can write your own explanation. This is about the introduction about the cloud computing, and in the upcoming slides we will get into the topic much deeper, and nothing to worry about it. And if you are having any queries, and you can ping or follow me through the following social media platform and Facebook or Twitter, and you can mail your query to sivanandan@gmail.com, and all my YouTube videos have been collected in a Google site, sites.google.com. You can go through that, and I'm owning a YouTube channel, and this is my YouTube channel name. You can, if you want, you can subscribe that. Okay, and thank you guys. We will see on the next video, and we will get much deeper into the cloud computing concept. Thank you guys.